Hi there. Today we're going to discuss independent practice numbers 1 through 10 on page 147. The lesson is called Percent of Change. Our first thing that we have to do is first find our percent of change. So you're just going to subtract your highest number minus your lowest number. So 18 minus 15, that equals 3. So our change is 3. Our second step is to set up our ratio of our change over our original, which was 15. And that equals 0.2. Now all we have to do now is change the percent into a decimal. So 0.2 times 100, that equals 20%. And now we have to see whether it goes up or down. We went 15 to 8, so it was an increase. So you would just write increase. All right. Number 2, 100 acres to 140 acres. We have to find the difference. So 140 minus 100, that equals a difference of 40 acres. Now we have to take the change, which is 40, over the original amount, which is 100, and that equals 0.4. Let's go ahead and take our 0.4, multiply it times 100 to make it a percent, and that is going to equal 40 percent. And if you can see, it went from 100 to 140, so that's an increase. Number 2, 1560 to 1170. So let's go ahead and subtract the 2. So 1560 minus 1170, and that equals 3.9 or $3.90. We're going to take that 3.9, put it over the original amount, and that is over 1560. Now what you get is 0.25. So let's again 0.25 times our 100. That equals 25%. And if you can see, we went from 1560 to 1170. So that went down. So that's considered a decrease. Number 4, we went from 125 to 87.5. So we're going to subtract the 2. And when we get that, we get 37.5. The second thing we have to do is set up your change over your original. So that is over 125. That equals 0.3. So we're going to go ahead and take our 0.3, multiply it times 100. So that's going to be 30%. And if you look, we went from 125 to 87.5, so that's considered a decrease. All right. Number 5, 1.6 hours to 0.95 of an hour. Again, set up our change. Oops, not 1-6. 1.6 minus 0.95. That is going to equal 0.65. So now we're going to set up 0.65 over the original amount, which is right here. That's going to equal 0.40625-ish. There is more numbers than that, but I don't have to write them all down because we have to round to the nearest percent. So let's take this, multiply it times 100, and we get 40.625. And we want to round to the nearest whole percent. So it stops at the 0. So does the 6 make it go up or stay the same? Makes it go up. So it's 41%. We went from 1.6 to 0.95, so that went down. So that's our decrease. Okay. Our next one, 132 days to 125.4 days. Let's find our change. So 132 minus 125.4, that equals 6.6. So now we're going to put 6.6 over the original amount, 132, and that's going to equal 0.05. And we're going to take our 0.05, multiply it times 100, and that equals 5%. We went from 132 to 125, so that is a decrease. All right. Now we have to use word problems, and we want to find the percent of error. So instead of finding the percent of change, we're just going to find the percent of error. So he estimates that he will spend $120. He actually spends 194. So we're going to subtract the two of those. So 120 minus 94, that equals 26. Our second one is to set up the percent of change, spend of error, which is the number of uh, error over the actual amount. So just remember you're looking for the word actual. So that's over 94. So this is going to be just about, let me do this symbol, 0.27659-ish. Okay. It goes on a lot further, but um, we're going to have to multiply that times 100, and that equals 27.659-ish. Um, so again, we have to round to this whole number. So does the 6 make the 7 go up or stay the same? So that's just about 28% error. All right, so he's off by a bit. All right, so our next one, let's go ahead and find our error. This was his estimate, and this was his actual. So let's subtract the two amounts. All right, that one is a difference of 70. 70, and then you want to make sure that you're putting the actual amount on the bottom. Okay, so let's go back to actual is 300. Now when you divide that, you get 0.2333, and that goes on forever. So we're just going to take 0.2333, multiply it times 100. You're going to get 23.33. Again, we want to round to the nearest whole percentage. So it stops here. Does the 3 make the 3 go up or stay the same? Makes it stay the same, so 23% error. Here are our last two examples. 3 months ago, Santos could walk 2 miles in 40 minutes. Now he can only do it in 25 minutes. So find the change. Okay, so again, we're going to say 40 minus 25, and that's 15. So that basically means that he changed 15 minutes. So we're going to set up 15 over our original, which was 40 minutes, and that's going to equal 0.375. We're going to turn that into a percent by multiplying times 100. And you get 37.5, but remember you want to round to the nearest whole percent. So does the 5 make the 7 go up or stay the same? It makes it go up. So it's about 30%, 38%. And because we went from 40 down to 25, it's a decrease. All right, in our last example, last year the enrollment General Middle School was 465. This year's enrollment of 525. So let's find the change. So 525 minus 465, that equals 60. We're going to set it over the original amount. So 60 over 465. And that's going to equal 0.1290, and so forth. I just kind of cut it off at a certain point. So let's take that number and round it to, I'm sorry, not round it, but multiply it times 100. So it's about 12.90-ish. So we stop at the 12 because we want a whole percent. The 9 makes the 12 come up, so it's just about 13%. And we went from 465 to 525, so that is an increase. All right, hope that video was helpful. Thank you. Bye.